This is the talk show that takes a no-holds-barred approach to politics, where truth and integrity are the standard and the Constitution honored. From Renaissance Studios, this is Champion News Talk Radio.
Good morning and welcome to another great edition of Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net, your choice for the conservative voice. This is Carol Parisi. Our founder, Jack Roser, and myself have a friend, Bob Bednar, with us today. Hey, Jack, how are you this morning?
Oh, opinions differ on that. Being in politics like this, not everybody likes what I've been doing. But I'm old, I'm 88 years old, and I've been a conservative all my life. I can remember my father listening to broadcasts from the Church of the Little Flower way back in Depression days about the international bankers. So my father put my feet on the road, and I'm no different now than I was 50 or so years ago. And our nation has progressed. My memory coincides a lot with what Beck talks about on the TV and radio. He delves into the history of the 1920s and 30s and 50s, and I wasn't born I was born in 1923, so I don't remember the Depression in 1920. I sure remember 1933 when my little bank account with $50 went bust, the bank dissolved. I certainly went through and remember all of the communist conspiracy years of the 50s and 60s. And when Beck talks about that communism and socialism and the progressives, I very much resonate with it because I'm old enough to have a memory of the times when there was a big communist conspiracy going, when the things that McCarthy talked about and was scolded for so much, it turned out he was right. There were those agents here, and a great deal of our universities and some of our lawmakers, and certainly a great part of our press was subverted by the Russian efforts. The Russians played a long chess game with us, and they started at the bottom, and they subverted our press. I wouldn't say our press is subverted by anybody, but there's a long, lingering allegiance to America, but also to progressive stuff, and it's brought us to a terrible cliff. Our merry press in this country that's so happy about the great America that we've been for so long, have helped with their progressive manners to reduce us to a terribly dependent state. And the regulations that we have are, as they are socialism itself. The fantastic details of everything we do is regulated. I know I wasn't too polite to the people that gave me an award for the reconstruction we've done in Carpentersville. The firemen were a big help to us, so were the policemen. Firemen helped us get through the fantastically tangled Boca Code, building code. And so I thanked them, and when it came to City Fathers and the president of it, I thanked them, but then I got a little bit out of order and rascally. I think maybe I should have retracted it, but I'll say it again anyway. I said, you gave us this award, that we're such nice guys in town, because we rebuilt that big complex that used to be the old Illinois Iron and Bolt Company, was built 100 years ago. And we've reconstructed to it better than its former beauty, because all of those buildings are now restored to the best that they ever looked. But when I talked to the City Fathers, I went a little too far, and I said, it's occurred to me that those buildings that are over 100 years old were built by some damn fool that was following his own inclination on how to put up buildings. And he didn't have the benefit of your Boca building code at that time. That didn't get any laughs as I thought it might, but it's true, we're just stuck. I look at some of these people that are administering all these regulations, and I think that as a businessman, as an American, as a person, as a family person, all the taxes we're paying for everything in sight, when I meet one of these bureaucrats now, I look at them and I think, I'm paying your salary to torture me. Because that's what it is. These regulations are worse than taxes.
Yep, bureaucratic socialism.
I'm going to carry
stymies economic growth.
Let me usurp a little bit of the time in the program. Is some people get mad at our township and county officials, and particularly the guy that is the tax assessor. And people get mad at him because our taxes on our homes, our real estate taxes are going up, up, up. And they blame the assessor. They should not blame him. He is not responsible. The assessor is in charge of the manure spreader of taxes. And his job has nothing to do with how much manure is put on the spreader. Your assessor is only there to see that it's spread evenly over all of us taxpayers. And now if you want the culprits, who put all of the manure on the manure spreader? It's politicians, and particularly in the schools, over 60% of your tax bill is for the horribly managed public schools, and 80% of that is their salaries and pensions, and that's in the bankrupt thing right now. So there's where the manure is coming from, is from the big spenders. And when you see all these guys talking at the presidential level about the taxes, listen, you don't pay taxes until after some lousy guy has spent the money. And if they spend it, we are going to have to pay for it.
Right.
So if you don't like your taxes, get after the rascal that's wasting your money. And there's no worse than that than the education system, the K-12 system here in Illinois. They are wasting your money. They pay 3 times too much for almost everything they touch. Certainly repairs and buildings. They go from 150 to 500% what any businessman would pay for better goods than what they're getting. I've had my little rant here. I just had to unload that thing about the manure spreader.
Well, you know what? There is a lot of manure that's spread
And that
around.
gets us over towards Bob, because you're involved in county government.
I hope to be involved in county government. My name is Bob Bednar. I'm running for Lake County Recorder. We have a situation in every county in this country right now where we're just spending way too much money to run government. And you know what I think it was Milton Friedman that said, you know, the cost of running government isn't the taxes, it's what they spend. Because there's some borrowed money that gets added in along with the taxes that get collected. So I think right now in Lake County there's a realization that this is a problem. We've got some great candidates running for county board in 2012 in the Republican ballot that realize this problem, and they're going to do a good job. And we're going to hold on to the county board. It's going to be a Republican county board. Now, we also have several countywide races. We've got state's attorney. We've got several qualified individuals running there. We've got the coroner's race. And I heard at least 3 or 4 different people want to run for that. One right now, I see him everywhere getting signatures. So he's hitting the ground. No grass is growing under his feet. We have a couple of candidates running for clerk of the circuit court, and I have a Republican opponent running for recorder of deeds in my race.
Now you are a Republican. You're a Republican committeeman.
I'm a Republican committeeman. Been one in Lake County for almost 20 years.
Which is what? I mean, if our listeners don't know what that is, give us about 40 seconds.
And this is in Lake County.
In Lake County.
Not Cook, which is different.
Different.
In Cook County, they call them
Precinct captains.
Precinct captains, thank you.
Because it's Crook County, but let's go ahead. Now, explain Lake County a little bit and what you
All
do.
right. Lake County, we're divided up into 18 townships. Each one of those townships, we have precinct boundaries drawn up. So you might have 5 to 41 precincts in those 18 townships. Each one of those townships, somebody can run for Republican committeeman.
Okay.
And I've been a committeeman in Shields Township. I've been a committeeman in Vernon Township. I recently moved into Fremont Township. I'm going to be running as a committeeman there. And it's a precinct where we didn't have a committeeman before.
Oh, nice.
So, and we also had a lot of Tea Party people become interested in running for committeeman this year.
This is something we need to talk about because there is a great relationship going on right now between the Republican Party and the grassroots populist movement known as the Tea Party.
You yourself had a lot to do. You were really a Tea Party person that did a lot of work, pushing doorbells and talking to people.
Yep.
You had. I know. I looked into how Walsh won.
It was fun
the
too.
House.
Let's talk about it when we come back.
You and many others like you did a great job.